Hello, my name is Lori Shelton, and I serve as a literacy coach for the Mississippi Department of Education. Today, we will be discussing the Literacy Focus of the Month in action for the month of March and April, which is before, during, and after reading strategies. Before we begin, let's discuss the vision, mission, and 5-year strategic plan of the State Board of Education. The vision is to create a world-class educational system that gives students the knowledge and skills to be successful in college and in the workforce, and to flourish as parents and citizens. The mission is to provide leadership through the development of policy and accountability systems so that all students are prepared to compete in the global community. The 5-year strategic plan for 2016 through 2021 is as follows. All students proficient in showing growth in all assessed areas. Every student graduates high school and is ready for college and career. Every child has access to a high-quality early childhood program. Every school has effective teachers and leaders. Every community effectively using a world-class data system to improve student outcomes, and every school and district is rated C or higher. Our goals for today will be to discuss the purpose of the Literacy Focus of the Month, examine the importance of before, during, and after reading strategies, and explore before, during, and after reading strategies. The purpose of the Literacy Focus of the Month is to provide guidance to administrators and teachers for supporting a monthly school-wide instructional focus based on best practices and research-based strategies in literacy. The Literacy Focus for March and April is before, during, and after reading strategies. So, what is the importance of before, during, and after reading strategies? A typical reading lesson can be organized into 3 parts with specific activities being used before, during, and after reading. Before, during, and after reading strategies are used to activate prior knowledge and provide a mental framework to which new ideas can be attached. This framework starts before reading begins, strengthens as students interact with the text during reading, and reflects upon after reading. Research indicates there are basic strategies that good readers utilize before, during, and after reading, as well as things teachers can do to support readers. Good readers set goals, preview text, and make predictions before reading. To provide support before reading, teachers should introduce a text and teach vocabulary, activate prior knowledge, and build background information. During reading, good readers read sequentially, skim and scan, reread, make notes, focus on main ideas and details, check and adapt predictions, monitor comprehension, make real-world connections for inferencing, summarize, respond to, and evaluate text. During reading, teachers should model good reader strategies. Monitor strategies by conducting demonstrations and think-alouds. Ask higher-order thinking questions and inferencing. Model summarizing main ideas and lead students to revising predictions. Research shows that after reading, students should selectively reread, summarize, and reflect. At this point, teachers can support students by guiding them in reflection and rereading of critical text and lead students in summarizing and applying information. Research tells us that incorporating before, during, and after reading strategies creates independent readers, fosters predicting, questioning, clarifying, summarizing, connecting, and evaluating skills, engages students in dialogue with the author, shows the inner workings of a good reader's mind, and demonstrates reading as an active process. We will now discuss some strategies for before, during, and after reading. One strategy that may be utilized before reading is an anticipation guide. This is a comprehension strategy that activates prior knowledge and builds curiosity about the text. Before reading the text, students listen to or read statements about concepts that will be encountered in the text. These are often structured as a series of statements requiring students to agree or disagree. These statements are meant to stimulate interest as well as set a purpose for reading. There are 4 steps in utilizing the anticipation guide. First, construct the anticipation guide by creating 4 to 6 statements about key ideas in the text. Next, read statements, asking students if they agree or disagree. Be sure to provide opportunities for discussion. Then orally read the text, stopping to discuss each of the statements from the anticipation guide. After reading the entire text, bring closure by revisiting each statement. Another strategy that begins before reading is a KWL chart. The KWL is a 3-column note-taking strategy that requires students to record what they know, what they want to know, what they want to learn, and what they learned. When using a KWL chart, the teacher should first provide students with a 3-column graphic organizer. Students should then read the title, scan the text, or take a picture walk. This should be followed by students completing the first column of the chart by recording any prior knowledge of the topic. The teacher should lead a discussion reviewing the students' prior knowledge before having students complete the second column with information they would like to learn. After discussing this information, the students will read the selection, adding what they learned in the last column. Partner reading is a common strategy used during reading. It is a cooperative learning strategy which incorporates 2 students working together to read an assigned text. Partner reading is often used as part of the peer-assisted learning strategies referred to as PALS. Partner reading allows students to take turns reading and providing feedback to monitor comprehension. In partner reading, the teacher must first select and introduce text. Students should be paired based on specific skills, with one student being a stronger reader. Next, the teacher should model the strategy. The teacher should then assign a coach and a player in each pair, remembering to assign the stronger reader as the player. The stronger reader, the player, will read orally for 5 minutes while the coach follows along and corrects mistakes. The pair then switches roles and rereads the same passage for 5 minutes with the coach providing feedback. Story maps may be used as a during reading strategy that uses a graphic organizer to help students learn the elements of a text. There are various types of story maps. The most basic focus on the beginning, middle, and end of a story. More advanced story maps focus on the plot or character traits. Story maps may also be utilized to assess story comprehension. When using a story map, the teacher must select and provide the template of the story map. Next, the students will be asked to read the text and identify the specified story elements. The students will record their responses on the map. The story map will then be used as a reference for discussing story elements. Exit slips are an after-reading strategy. They are written responses to questions posed at the end of a lesson. The slips will provide knowledge about how well the students understood the lesson. They assist the students in reflecting what they've learned, allow them to express what they're thinking about the new information, and allows them to think critically. When using exit slips, students are asked to respond to a question at the end of a lesson. The teacher will provide index cards for students to record their responses. The teacher will then record the exit slips to determine any needed modifications in instruction in order to meet the needs of all the students. When using exit slips, students are asked to respond to a question at the end of a lesson. The teacher will provide index cards for students to record their responses. The teacher will then review the exit slips to determine any needed modifications in instruction in order to meet the needs of all students. Teachers may also collect exit slips to include in students' assessment portfolios. Question-answer relationships, or QAR, is a strategy that assists students in understanding different types of questions. This strategy helps students recognize that they must consider the type of question asked before answering. When using QAR, the teacher explains that students will encounter 4 types of questions, define the types of questions, and give examples. The first type of question is the right there question. The answers to these questions can be found in the text. The second type is think and search, which requires students to locate answers throughout the text and combine them together to arrive at the answer. Author and you questions are the third type. These require students to use information from the text and connect it to their own experiences. The last question type is on my own questions. These questions can be answered strictly from the student's background or prior knowledge. The teacher should prepare questions relating them to the text. Next, the teacher will read a short passage to the students and read aloud the questions, followed by the teacher modeling how to determine which type of question is being asked. Finally, the teacher will demonstrate how to locate the necessary information to answer each question. Always remember, reading involves connecting new text to what is already understood. The key processes used throughout, before, during, and after reading strategies are writing, conversation, and reading. These strategies will require the students to constantly monitor their own understanding of the text while reading. Additional resources may be located through the Mississippi Department Education website at the link listed on the screen. For further information, please contact any of the people listed on this final slide.